So, moving on to the next event at the World Championships, and it's Emmeline Rago, the French rider, former junior world champion, coming down this course. 1.77 miles long, 2.85 kilometers. Starts at 7,840 feet, drops by almost 2,000 feet. And Emmeline Rago, a two-time junior world champion. She didn't ride the Worlds last year. She did very well in the qualifying round, fifth with a time of 4:42.75. So she's a lot faster than that coming down into the finish area now. The first time ever this finish area incorporating the four cross, the downhill and the cross country. All part of the same course, and the time that she's going to beat Marielle Sainer, 4:31.52 for Emmeline Rago. What a brilliant time from that young French rider. And yet another product of the French system, the FFC, Sabrina Joniet, fighting desperately with Britain's Tracy Moseley for the overall title in the World Cup. But at the moment, as you can see from the standings, Emmeline Rago, 4:31.52. That's the time to beat from Sabrina Joniet. Sabrina Joniet, she's been a junior world champion way back in 1999. It's not that long ago, really, is it? Couple of silver medal positions in the juniors before and a bronze, so she's got the full complement from the junior category. Second in the downhill worlds in 2003 behind Anne-Caroline Chasson that year. But Sabrina Joniet desperately trying to win this senior title. Anne-Caroline Chasson coming back this year. She was at the Worlds last year, but she crashed in training and wasn't able to compete, Chasson. Unfortunately, Sabrina Joniet not able to compete in last year's Worlds because she lacerated her liver, can you believe? Awful injury she had just before the World Championships, unfortunately for Sabrina Joniet. So last year's Worlds, Joniet and Caroline Chasson and Britain's Tracy Moseley, the three favourites for the title last year, weren't able to compete, so it was won by Vanessa Quinn from New Zealand. And at the moment, it's Emmeline Rago, the young French woman, who is in gold medal position, but it looks like Joniet is going to do very well here. She's leading in the World Cup at the moment. Anne-Caroline Chasson not bothering the World Cups this year overall. She does a couple of races and then she's virtually semi-retired, but she's saying that she didn't want to go out of the Worlds like she did last year. So she's come back for this year, but it looks like Sabrina Joniet is going to beat the time of Emmeline Rago, 4:27.71. What a brilliant ride from her, with just one rider to go now, Anne-Caroline Chasson, the woman who won 8 world titles back-to-back before she crashed in training last year, trying to go out on a high last year at Le Jay in 2004 in France. She desperately wanted to do that. She's, as I said, she's virtually semi-retired. She's won everything. Oh, and a slight problem there, just slipping out there from Anne-Caroline Chasson. What can she do? She was fastest in qualifying with a time of 4:27.37. If she just does that here today, she will beat the time of Sabrina Joniet. Britain's Tracy Moseley currently in 5th position at the moment, but with just one rider to go, Anne-Caroline Chasson, the indomitable Anne-Caro. I think if she wins this, she said she's going to retire. As I said, she desperately wanted to do it last year. She only did a couple of World Cup races last year. She's done a couple this year. Supremely talented rider. Four-cross rider, downhill rider. She's pretty handy at cross-country as well. She's very fit. But that time to beat, 4:27.71. She had that slip halfway up the course. She was fastest just at the intermediate mark. I think she would have been a lot faster if she hadn't have if her back wheel hadn't have slid out. She's got that time to beat, 4:27.71. Can Caroline Chasson beat the time? I think she's going to do it, 4:27.34. Oh, how cruel for Sabrina Joniet. Oh, look at Sabrina. Desperately wanted to win the gold medal. Congratulations there from Sabrina. So Anne-Caro takes the women's downhill for the 9th time. What a fantastic rider. I think that's the last we'll ever see of her with a French 1-2-3. Brilliant riding from Caro. Welcome back to Eurosport with me, Mark Bicycle, for the men's downhill race. The elite men at Livigno here in Italy. And the man we're looking at now, Fabien Barel, the defending world champion. Had a very calculated semi-run. And that's the standings at the moment. Julian Camallini, 4:04.37. That is the time to beat from Fabien Barel. Barel, as I was saying, had a very canny semi-run. Deliberately going slow so that he had a midpoint time to come down the mountain. Doesn't like the pressure of going last. 4:14.21. That's of course if he would have gone last, but looking good at the moment. The man who won the Worlds last year at Livigno in France. Rather fortunately, I will say, even though I am British of course, because Steve Peat, the British rider, was winning that race hands down, but slid out on the last corner, eventually coming 11th. So Fabien trying to make up for that this year. That time at the mid-split, 2:22.92, 4:48 faster than Julian Camallini. Fabien Barel is going to defend this title with aplomb, I think. Very, very fit rider. First at the Worlds last year. In fact, he won the last race of the World Cup season last year here at Livigno. A training run really for this World Championships, and Fabien won that race just over under a second in front of Nathan Rennie, the Aussie rider. But Fabien riding for the Kona Livigno team. In fact, since he's been on the Kona team, he really has become consistent. Third at the Worlds in 2003. That's when he joined Kona. 7th overall in the World Cup. 8th in the World Cup last year. First at the Worlds. He's in the top 10 in the World Cup at the moment, and he's trying to defend his World Champions jersey from last year. The supremely fit, likeable Frenchman from Paris, near the infamous, the famous Nicolas Vouilloz. Fabien looking good at the moment, very, very controlled. He wants to repeat the win of last year in the World Cup, coming down into the bottom of the course now. He's got that time to beat of Julian Camallini. That time of 4:04.37. He was a lot faster at the intermediate split. He was 34th in the semi-run, but that really is no indication of the time. And look at the time on the right now, 3:52, 3:53. He's going to murder it. 9.6 faster from Fabien Barel. Beats the time of Julian Camallini, 3:54.77. That is fantastic riding. As we see another Frenchman at the bottom part of the course at at the four-cross part of the course. Karim Amour noted more for his four-cross riding, but what a great time, 4:02.59 from Karim Amour. That puts him into second at the moment. Noted, as I say, usually for his four-cross skills. Oh, nasty crash there from Nathan Rennie. Ouch, looking good as well. Oh, that's unfortunate for Nathan. He was 7th in fastest in the semi-run, but a lot slower now, 4:15.76. Just watch this, just loses that back end. Oh. And Fabien didn't like that either, did he? Goodness me. Now we look at Greg Minnaar, the man who won the World Championships and World Cup. He won the Worlds in 2003, won the World Cup in 2001. The man riding for Team G-Cross Honda. That is the standings at the moment. Fabien Barel, 3:54.77. Karim Amour, currently in second spot, is a French 1-2 at the moment. But we are looking at the man who has already wrapped up the World Cup title. He was second last year in the World Championships in Livigno. He was first in 2003. Didn't start the Worlds in 2002, but he was third in 2001, so he really has been flying for the past 4 or 5 years, says Greg. The Fresh Prince of Big Air, as team manager Martin Whiteley has called him. Very, very talented rider. Handy at four-cross as well. Slim, but super fit. He's got that time of 3:54.77 to beat. He was actually just a smidgen faster than Fabien Barel at the intermediate split, but he's got that time to beat, 3:54.77. Greg Minnaar, the former world champion from 2003, he'd dearly love to get another rainbow jersey and make it a double with the World Cup that he's already won with just one round to go a week after this event in Fort William, Scotland, the finals of the World Cup. But what's he going to do here? It's very close indeed. 3:57.79, 3:02 slower than Fabien Barrel. A good run from Greg Minnaert, but not good enough. Now we go to one of the great British riders coming up into the scene now, George Atherton, or G as he's known. I can't say coming up onto the scene, he won a World Cup race last year, but he's very young. This boy is one for the future. Sorry, G. Not boy, he's a man, of course. And what a brilliant rider. Won a World Cup race last year, 2004 at Schladming. Won the British National Championships, beating Steve Peat. What a fabulous ride that was. And he's looking good at the moment, but he's not going to beat the time set by Fabien Barrel. 4:01.98, third spot at the moment. That's not bad, and now we're looking at Steve Peat. I think it is indeed the man who would dearly love to win a World Championships. He's been second 3 times, should have won last year but crashed out on the last corner. He was easily going to win that, but he's got to beat that time set by Fabien Barrel. 3:54.77. Peaty was second in the semis, so he's got the form, but can he beat that time set by Barrel? He was a little slower at the midpoint, and he's not going to beat it here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Third at the moment, 3:58.14 for Peaty. With the man who was quickest in the semis, the Australian former or junior world champion, Sam Hill. That is the standings at the moment. Barrel in first, Minnaert in second, Steve Peat in third. Sam Hill won the junior world championships in 2002. He won again in 2003. He was third at his first ever senior worlds last year at Leger. Strong rider, like most of these Aussies, and he's faster at that intermediate split. He's riding really well. Can he go on to win the senior world championships? This will be a revelation. As I was saying, one of the super strong Aussies. They breed them tough out there, goodness me. Second in last year's World Cup. And he's fighting for second at the moment in this year's World Cup. He's not going to win it. That's already been won by Greg Minnaert, but he could get second spot in the World Cup. So he really is a talent, along with G. Atherton from Great Britain and Fabien Barrel as well. These are the guys who are taking over from the old school, perhaps. But Sam Hill, fastest in qualifying. His time in qualifying when in the semis was 3:58.49. He's going to have to beat that to win the title here. He's really letting it all hang out. Sam Hill, the 2-time junior world champion, he's really pushing the envelope now. The Aussie rider, fabulous technique, doesn't mess up there like Nathan Rennie, his compatriot, did. He's got to beat that time set by Fabien Barrel, 3:54.77. He's very close indeed, coming down into the bottom part of the course now. He's looking strong, he's looking tough. The young Aussie, can he beat the Frenchman here in Italy, in the Northern Alps? Great technique, he's cutting the corners now, over the water jump, just onto the stutter bumps now, over the doubles. He's coming across the line, is he going to beat it? No, he doesn't beat it. A time of 3:55.54. Fabien Barrel has, oh wow, he's defended his title. What a fantastic run. Sam Hill comes across the line in second, Greg Minnaert in third, Britain's Steve Peat in fourth, G. Atherton in fifth. But a great ride from Fabien Barrel. He's won this on pure talent alone. Fabien Barrel in first, Sam Hill in second, and Greg Minnaert in third. Fabulous riding from these three guys. Welcome back to Eurosport with me, Mark Biesiegel. We are now going to look at the four-cross with the men and women. And the first heat we're going to see, Heat 23, Michael Prokop, Kamil Tartakovic, Roman Saladan, and of course Greg Minnaert, the man who was third in the Downhill World Championship you've just seen. And it looks like, is that Tartakovic in the lead or Michael Prokop? I think it's Prokop. The world champion from 2003. Just watch this. Oh! That's Prokop just catching his foot there. Nasty crash there. Wow. And that's Mike King, the downhill world champion, coming off the bike there. Virtually semi-retired now. Oh, not his fault either. Just dug into a bump there. Looked pretty difficult there from Mike Kingy, or Kingy as he's called. Goodness me. Crashes galore here. Hectic sport, 4-cross, isn't it? So, women's semi-final, Jill Kiltner, Katrina Miller, Anita Mollick and Joey Goff from Great Britain. Jill Kiltner, fastest woman in the qualifying run, already going out wearing plate number 1. Katrina Killer Miller in second at the moment. Joey Goff, I think she's in third at the moment on this tough course. Always run now, tends to be run under floodlights. It's so spectacular under floodlights. This long course, the longest in history actually, 530 meters, and it looks like Jill Kiltner and Katrina Miller have got the 1-2 positions wrapped up. They will go forward into the finals if they keep these positions here. Jill Kiltner already won the 4-cross in the Norber 4-cross in America, the national series there. And she's lying first in the 4-cross World Cup at the moment. Second at 4-cross Worlds last year behind the surprise world champion Jana Horakova. Came from nowhere last year. Everyone expected Kiltner to win it, and it looks like Joey Goff, I think it is Joey Goff in third at the moment. She's not going to get past Katrina Miller in second, so it's Kiltner in first, Miller in second, with Joey Goff in third. Second semi-final for the women, Vanessa Quinn, Melissa Buell, Tara Yanis and Leanne Gerard. Vanessa Quinn, the former downhill world champion from 2004. She's going to try and edge out Tara Yanis. Tara never won the 4-cross Worlds, but she's looking good at the moment. She was second in the qualifying run behind Kiltner, and it looks like Melissa Buell is leading out at the moment. Tara Yarn is fantastic in the air, does love the bumps if she can get some speed. And this is a long course, isn't it? 530 meter run, 6 turns. And the women in the qualies coming down just over a minute, and the men roughly about 50 seconds. And it looks like, is that Tara Yanis gone through there, or is it still, I think it's still, it is Tara Yanis. She's edged ahead of Melissa Buell in this semi-final. Vanessa Quinn not there at all at the moment, and Leanne Gerard not there either. So the three Americans and the New Zealand woman, and it looks like Tara Yanis coming across the line in first, Melissa Buell in second. They will advance through to the final. Brian Lopes, Roger Rinderknecht, Mikael Deldick and Eric Carter. What a field. Eric Carter, defending world champion. Brian Lopes, the champion from 2002. Roger Rinderknecht, a winner of a World Cup race as well. Quality field here. Brian Lopes and Eric Carter, you expect them to go out first. Flying, really flying now. Brian Lopes, the man who was fastest in the qualifying time. What a fabulous technique from Lopesy. Flying Brian Lopes with the king of smooth, Eric Carter. Number 4 rider. Looking good at the moment. But Brian Lopes, he's had a couple of really dodgy seasons actually. He's broken some bones in his bodies, but in his bodies, he's got 2 of them. But he looks like he's back to his best, and it looks like fine Brian Lopes in first spot at the moment. I can't see if that's Eric Carter in second. I don't think it is actually. I'm not too certain who was coming across the line in second there. But it looks like Brian Lopes in first and Mikael Deldick in second. What a surprise there. Yari Graves, Kamil Tartakovic, Greg Minnaar. Good field here. 2 Aussie riders. Yared Graves as well. Alvarez de Lara. Some great riders. Yari Graves, a Nobel winner. It really is a long course. And it looks like Yared Graves in first spot at the moment with Greg Minnaar. I think it's Greg Minnaar in second, is it? Well, it looks like actually he's in third spot at the moment, I think. Rafael Alvarez de Lea He's in second at the moment. Menard coming down the course now. He's really pedaling on that bike. He wants to get that second position. He's taking the jumps well. Oh, what a brilliant ride from Greg Menard. Fabulous riding. Jared Graves takes the win there in the first men's semi-final, in the second men's semi-final. But Greg Menard just comes across the line as we go to the women's final. Jill Kiltner, Katrina Miller, Tara Yanis and Melissa Buell. Watch Jill Kiltner riding #1 plate. She's got the line. She can choose where she goes from. She's taking the inside line there, the #1 rider. It looks like she's taking that line ahead of Katrina Miller. Miller been on the scene for a long time now. Had a really bad back injury about 5-6 years ago. She just edges out. I think that was Tara Yanis in second spot. Tara was, but Kiltner just edging her out there on that corner, just coming inside her. But it looks like Jill Kiltner has got this wrapped up if she keeps up this form. Super fit rider coming across from BMX. A BMX world champion, won absolutely everything. Second at last year's Worlds for Jill Kiltner. Everyone expected her to win. She was third in 2003. Can she take the gold medal position here? And it looks like Tara Yanis is now vying for second spot with Katrina Miller. They're very close indeed, but Jill Kiltner is going to take the win with Katrina Miller in second and Tara Yanis in third. Great riding from Jill Kiltner. So she goes from bronze to silver to gold. Excellent. She is the 4-cross world champion. What a great ride. On this super long course, we've got the men's final now. Brian Lopes, Michael Deldic, Greg Menard and Jared Graves. Watch out for #1 Brian Lopes, the world champion from 2002, and takes the inside line. Great riding there. Jared Graves in second spot at the moment. You'd expect flying Brian, 34-year-old Brian Lopes. Michael Deldic in third spot at the moment, the Frenchman, but Brian Lopes, look at that lead. He's got a 10-metre lead already. He's a long way ahead of Jared Graves. Greg Menard in fourth spot at the moment. Will Greg Menard be able to come back like he did in that semi-final? That was a fantastic ride. It looks like he's trying to go on the outside there of Michael Deldic. But he doesn't manage to do that. But Brian Lopes has got a 10-metre lead ahead of Jared Graves. Jared Graves is in second spot at the moment. Brian Lopes is going to take his second World Championships. Graves in second spot. And I think that was Deldic in third. Greg Menard wasn't able to take the bronze like he did in that semi. So Brian Lopes, the world champion for the second time. Fabulous riding from him as we look at Jill Kiltner putting on her world champions jersey. Goodness me. Gold medal here in 2005, silver in 2004, bronze in 2003. Jill Kiltner in first spot, Katrina Miller in second with Tara Yanis in third. And here we see Brian Lopes getting his second World Champions jersey to go with that one he won in 2002 in Capron. Great riding there from Flying Brian. He's had a couple of really moody seasons. Third at the Worlds in 2003. He won in 2002, but he's a world champion this year in 2005. Great riding from Brian Lopes. Well done, Brian.